everybody, welcome back to microbeerreviews.com. We have got a review of a local North Carolina beer out of Raleigh, North Carolina, the capital of the state that I reside in, and I am thrilled to finally bring you one of their beers. One of their beers that I'm referring to is the LoneRider Brewing Company. This is their PeaceMaker Pale Ale, and I have to say this because for the longest time I thought it was pacemaker, like what you get in your heart to control your rhythm. It's PeaceMaker Pale Ale. Just a little inside joke. Several of my viewers will know what I'm talking about. It's 5.7% alcohol, and like I said, it's brewed out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Very readily in our grocery stores. It's $9 to $10 a six-pack. This is our most popular one. They've got a nut brown and a Hefeweizen you can find pretty readily as well in our area. This is a really good beer. It looks like a pale ale. It's a little bit more on the caramely side than a lot of pale ales. Poured with a little bit of head, but not a ton of head to it. Not very carbonated. Exactly what a pale ale should be. They describe it as a West Coast style pale ale. It's got several hops in it, and they talk about how it's got a balanced hop and bitterness flavor to it, which I agree. This beer also has a lot of citrusy, kind of toasted notes to it on the back end, on the front end actually. On the back end, what I like about this beer is that you taste a little bit of hops, not a lot. It's a pale ale, not an Indian pale ale, but a lot of the nutty toastiness flavor, which hence the kind of darker color, which I like a lot. It finishes really, really well in your mouth in the flavor. It's fairly thick in consistency, which I like. A lot of people say this is a hazy beer. I kind of disagree. I think the beer is fairly clear in terms of its filtration, but I've heard a lot of people pick on this beer a little bit with that, and I'm going to actually disagree in my review. I think it's a fairly clean filtered beer, at least the one that I've had before. I've bought this before. This is not the first one I've tried. I bought it in six-packs before, so it's a beer I would definitely recommend and try again. Most people like this beer a lot. When it's reviewed, or people I trade with, or people that I know in North Carolina, they consider this a very drinkable pale ale because of the fact that, as they describe it, it's balanced. So it's not extremely bitter, it's not extremely citrusy, nutty, or toasty, but it's got a little bit of everything. It's got a really unique flavor, and I'm picky and critical on pale ales because I think there's a lot of really good ones out there. This is one of them, but it's, I think, different than a lot of the other ones. It's got a darker color to it, I think, than some of the other ones. It's got a little bit more citrusy flavors to it, a little sweeter than a little bit of other pale ales, as opposed to the drier, hoppier styles. It's just one of those beers that I think you're going to try and like, and you'll buy it again. It might not be something you go to all the time, but for the most part, most people view this as a drinkable, balanced pale ale, and I couldn't agree. It's not, it doesn't have a ton of head. It's got a little bit of head, not very carbonated, poured with the head, disappeared quickly. All the good things I like about a pale ale would go great with a meal, with any meal in my opinion. It's just a very smooth beer, and it doesn't have any overpowering flavor on any end, but it's got a lot mixed into it. So I definitely would recommend this beer. Like I said, I bought it many times before. One of my goals with my videos and my website is to support local beers, and that's right around the corner from us. And LoneRider Brewing Company has really done a good job of getting out and marketing themselves within at least our market. So if you see it, buy it, try it. You'll like it if you like pale ales. Just know that you're going to kind of have a little bit of a citrusy flavor to it, which a lot of people don't expect from a pale ale. But I'd give it a 3.5 or a 4. Like I said, buy it, try it, you'll like it. And I'm going to leave it at that. So very, very recognizable label with the guy on the horse riding through, the PeaceMaker, not the pacemaker. Thanks for watching microbeerreviews.com. See you again real soon.